Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to SA Accounting Academy. Here's a short clip on one of our previous webinars. I hope that you really do enjoy it.
Okay, so then let's move on. We did do a bit of a sound check, but I guess we didn't do a good enough job. But it's fine. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so we're doing Companies Act amendments for bookkeepers. I am Nestene Botha, so I've been training with the South African Accounting Academy for a while now. I absolutely love you guys and doing these webinars for you and with you. We always have so much fun, and the way that I usually run my webinars is I try to keep it very engaging, very chatty. So if you have anything of value to add in the chat, if you have any questions, let's share our knowledge, let's help each other. The previous session that we did on independent review, I got so many questions. I even compiled an FAQ for you guys that we did upload to the South African Accounting Academy portal, and I felt that it really enabled me to add a lot of value. So yeah, let's chat and engage, help each other through this and learn together. In terms of who I am, if you don't know yet, I'm the co-founder of Explore ProTech Entrepreneurial Haven. So I run a global entrepreneurs network. I'm having an absolute blast doing it. We are creating constant content. So if you want to see some of the content that we create with helpful little things for entrepreneurs, you're welcome to follow me on YouTube or connect with me on LinkedIn, and we can chat more over there. There's always tons of opportunities in the network. So if you feel you want to explore more of your entrepreneurial side, I'm your person. Get in touch. Let's talk. I'm also one of the top 35 under 35 chartered accountants according to SAICA, and that was in 2018. And this year I've been nominated as one of the top 50 women in accounting. So I trust you are in good hands. Okay, in terms of the course that we're doing today, it's all about understanding the purpose of the Companies Act and the proposed amendments. Also understanding the CIPC's regulatory role. We're going to try to become aware of the key sections in the Companies Act that directly affect the day-to-day duties of bookkeepers. We'll try to understand how these key sections affect the bookkeeper and accountant's work on a practical day-to-day basis. So I'm going to try to keep it super practical. And if you guys can help me by asking relevant practical questions in the chat and helping each other with those questions, that'll be amazing. And then we'll also become more aware of the practical tips that can be applied on a daily basis as certain transactions occur. And that makes better bookkeepers out of all of us. So in terms of the table of contents, we're going to quickly look at an introduction to the key proposed amendments to the Companies Act of 2008. Then we'll go into the proposed amendments to the different sections that actually affect the bookkeeper. So we'll start with section 16, amending Memorandum of Incorporation. Then we'll go to section 25, location of company records, see what is changing over there. We'll move on to section 26, access to company records. Then there's some amendments to section 34, the annual financial statements. Section 34A, the duty to prepare a director's remuneration report. Section 33, the annual return. Section 38A, validation of irregular creation, allotment, or issuing of shares. So that's a proposed new section to the Companies Act. So if you haven't seen it before, there's a reason why it's new. It's a new proposed amendment. And then section 40, consideration for shares. Something's changing over there. Something's changing in section 45, loans or other financial assistance to directors. Then also with section 48, company or subsidiary acquiring company shares. Section 61, shareholders meetings, and section 72, board committees have some changes happening. In section 90, in terms of the appointment of auditor, there's a small change. in section 118, the application of this part C and the takeover regulations, there's a small change. And then in section 135, post commencement finance, where we look at business rescue, there's a small change over there, but nothing too hectic, and I'll try to point everything out as we go. The quote that I have for you guys today is from Les Brown. Those of you that know me know that Les Brown is one of my absolute favorite motivational speakers. I listened to him while I was starting up my first virtual audit firm, and he just always puts a smile on my face. And this quote says, "Your smile will give you a positive countenance that will make people feel comfortable around you." So again, I want to tell you that I know that the changes that are proposed and all the amendments going on can be daunting. It can be a daunting task to go and explain that to your clients and try to get them on board with it. But at the same time, if we can pull that off and pull it off with a smile, we can actually make extra money from this process. So risk and reward is two sides of the same coin. Remember that. And let's try to focus more on the opportunity than on the actual risk. Okay, cool. So with that said, I'm ready to get started, and let's jump right in. So the first part I want to cover is introduction to key proposed amendments to the Companies Act 2008. So here it's just important to know, and I'm sure you know by now, that on the 21st of September 2018, a draft amendment bill to the Act was published for public comment. Now, as at the date of this training, the bill has not yet been passed into law. So just make a good note of that. So all the amendments we're going to be talking about today, I'm pointing out so that you can be aware of them when they come into effect. As of this date, it hasn't been passed into law yet, so these amendments aren't in play yet. Okay, and this bill basically represents the first set of substantive amendments to the Companies Act since it came into effect on 1 May 2011. So in terms of what key proposed amendments there are in this bill, and I see this is slightly cut off. I'm sorry about that. I'll fix that for you and upload the new slides to the portal with the key proposed amendments heading not half cut off. But so these are the different amendments that have been proposed in the Companies Act. And these are the ones that are relevant for people in the bookkeeping profession. There are other amendments after Section 135. I've included a resource for you that lists all of those amendments. That is more about tribunals and things that don't directly affect the role of the actual bookkeeper. So I wouldn't concentrate on that right now if I was you. So I wanted to just focus on this list of amendments from section 16 to 135 that is going to be relevant to the way that we keep our records directly. Okay, so let's start with those. So the first section on my list that there has been some proposed amendments for is section 16, and that is amending the Memorandum of Incorporation. So in this section 69, currently provides that the amendments to the company's Memorandum of Incorporation would take effect on the date set out in the amended registration certificate issued by the Commission in the case of an amendment that changes the name of the company, or in any other case, the date on which the notice of amendment is filed, or the date, if any, set out in the notice of amendment. So it is the second part of the section that is actually going to change. And what they want to change it to is...
I hope that you enjoyed that video. For more of our webinar videos, go to www.accountingacademy.co.za. Thank you and have a lovely day.